Focus. Such a simple concept, right? Focus.
Another former FTX executive, Kathy Woods, ARK Invest, teams up with 21 shares from Kathy Woods, ARK Invest.
But somehow so many people miss the big picture. Cryptocurrency's not just a way to make a quick buck or to make your next trade. Cryptocurrency has made more millionaires than any other industry in the world. In this video, I want to talk about Ethereum and give you guys a price prediction. We live in a society of overconsumption of information. There's unlimited amounts and access to the point where you actually have to learn how to filter the information out. And I want to provide you guys with clarity, calm clarity, and focus. At one point in my life, I didn't have focus. I didn't have clarity. I was moved by emotion. There's a lot of reasons why people make content. And sometimes those reasons can be clouded by emotions or feelings. I want to show you emotionless truth. I want to show you qualitative and quantitative evidence to why I believe we are in a bull market and why I believe Ethereum can make people rich and outcompete any other financial asset class in the history of mankind. See, I believe that cryptocurrency is a part of technological leaps that have always reshaped our world and transferred wealth. From the printing press in the 15th century, Gutenberg's invention democratized knowledge, shifting power from the church to new intellectual merchants. The steam engine in the 18th century, the Industrial Revolution began with the steam engine, and it gave rise to industrial influence. The telegraph in the 19th century, rapid long-distance communication arrived, enhancing business speed and signaling the decline of older methods. The internal combustion engine in the late 19th century, automobiles changed transport. Wealth moved from carriages to oil machines and auto. The personal computer and the internet in the late 20th century, computing became personal, the world connected. Tech giants like Microsoft and Apple rose as old industries died off. Mobile tech in the early 21st century, smartphones transformed access to information. Innovators in the mobile tech soared, birthing a new era of app business. And now I believe cryptocurrency in the 21st century will decentralize digital money in pretty much every industry, and early adopters will thrive. But the question is, as technology evolves, are you going to participate in the revolution? Because we are living in the confines of the system, and I want to show you a way out of the system. The system that's confined so many people. Back in the day, they used to physically enslave you, physically beat you. Now they enslave your brain. They enslave you through forcing work on you, and they impose monetary restrictions. But the beauty of this situation, it's not all doom and gloom. If you understand the variables, if you understand the rules, if you understand how they operate, you can manipulate the variables to get yourself out of the system. It's a game. And I've been playing this game for 8 years, and I'm here to take you out of it. I want you to think logically. I want you to back up everything you do with research. I want you to become a professional. That is why I make my videos. Not for views, not for money, but for love. The true version of what a cryptocurrency investor should be. Uncompromised, because I don't have a handler, and I submit to the higher power. So uncompromised truth and love. That's what I want to show you in this video. Quick interruption. This video is brought to you by CoinPix Inner Circle, the most extensive college-level crypto education program ever created. Get private live Q&As with me going over every crypto topic. You can ask me direct questions about anything and get live customized coaching. Get access to a 10-week college-level crypto trading and investing education. This is all 8 years of my cryptocurrency experience packed into one course. Dive into 200+ recorded videos, 100+ hours of content, and 8 years of experience of me trading and making mistakes that you don't have to. This is not theory. This is time-tested and battle-proven over multiple bear markets and bull markets and multiple 100x coin opportunities that have been called in this group. Get access to an elite crypto circle of 7- and 8-figure earners that are all focused on cryptocurrency success. There's also a revolutionary gamification ranking system. As you get likes in the community, you rank up and get reputation in the community. CoinPix Inner Circle has thousands of validated testimonials that you can see for yourself on the website of 6-figure, 7-figure, and 8-figure earners. Head on over to coinpixinnercircle.com to get access to everything. There will be a link in the description or pinned comment below this video. Let's jump into the actual video. It's gonna get deep. I'm gonna give you guys a for real Ethereum price prediction. I think I hit it on the head deeper than I ever have before. I've made a lot of Ethereum price predictions, and my method for predicting the price of assets has graduated, has developed into, I believe, more accurate scenarios, just more wisdom and understanding the market and how it works. But before making the Ethereum price prediction, I have to establish the narrative of the bullish market. So sit back, relax, take notes, come back to this video if it's too long for you, and just pay attention because this Ethereum price prediction is about to be crazy. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is sluggards do not plow in season. So at harvest time, they look but find nothing. Right now, that is what I see a lot, okay? So when talking about a trader, my goal and everything I do is to get you guys to advanced investors, people that are professionals in investing. I see it right now so much. People are out of the market. People are not clocked in. They're not taking it serious as they were in the bull market. That doesn't make any sense. This is the off season. Think about it. If you're a basketball player and you're in the middle of a season, you're not going to be training at like 4 o'clock in the morning and doing 6 workouts a day because you can get injured when you actually play the game. You'll be tired. So what they do is they train like monsters in the off season. In the off season, they go hard and it basically develops them. They get stronger, they get faster, they get more skilled. And then when they actually go to play, which is the bull market, they're better. So let me read it again. Sluggards do not plow in season. So at harvest time is like the bull run. When we harvest, right? They look but find nothing. You will be a byproduct, right, of what you do now in the future. So what you're doing now, how much effort you're putting in now is very important to what's going to happen in the bull run. Because if you experience any type of bull run, it's crazy. It's all over the place. There's going to be no time to research. There's going to be no time to develop yourself. There's going to be no time to learn something new. And your strategy will be compromised if you don't build out a strategy now and really understand crypto to a professional level, not to a
I know how to use MetaMask and that's it level.
I'm talking about understanding the depth of liquidity on decentralized exchanges. I'm talking about being able to identify cryptocurrencies with fundamental analysis. You know, I'm talking about developing almost like a intuition to understand cryptocurrencies, almost like a feeling to where it's habitual, to where it's like automatic. Someone gives you a coin, you see a red flag, no, right? You have to get good. This verse there was actually talked about by King Solomon, which is known through history books as being the wealthiest person on planet Earth. They say that estimated in today's value, his net worth is $2.1 trillion. And it's just very wise and simple words. Sluggards, lazy people, do not plow in season. They don't plow in season. So the season where you're supposed to be plowing or putting in work and planting seeds. So at harvest time, they look and find nothing. So if they're not plowing and planting seeds, which is boring, by the way, and there's no fruit, you don't get any fruit, you don't get any money, you have to do it and literally wait, right? So you're literally putting in work for no reward. That's basically what's happening right now. The people that don't want to put in work are not going to get anything. They're not going to get anything when there's actually harvesting going on because they didn't plow. Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. Cryptocurrency is an innovative market. There's a lot of people that leave this market because they can't handle the risk for whatever reason. Again, that distinguishes a leader versus a follower. There's a lot of people that watch my videos that I know will be leaders. I know they'll be leaders because there are so many leaders that were developed under me last cycle. So many influencers that you guys probably already know of that you've seen were developed under me. People that got, pretty lucrative jobs. People that have started their own businesses. So I know there's a lot of leaders, especially right now, if you're in the bear market and you're still watching these videos, you're still taking it serious. Become a leader and take the side of innovation because we are, I believe, in the most innovative financial asset class in the world. I know with every atom in my body that we are. Only those who will risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go. This is wisdom. This is so much wisdom. How far are you willing to go? In my life, as an entrepreneur, I was willing to go it didn't matter. I made one decision. I told myself, I said, Alex, I don't care if I'm broke. I don't care if I'm homeless. I don't care if I lose every single dollar. I don't care if my friends, make fun of me. I'm never going to quit entrepreneurship. And I really hung on that decision. I don't care how stupid I look. I don't care how smart I am. I don't care if I'm being lazy at the time or being super motivated at the time. I'm just not going to give up. That's that one thing. I'm just not going to give up. And I didn't. And it worked for me. Man, I remember times where I was actually homeless. Like me and my girlfriend at the time, but now my wife, we were home. Like I was homeless. I lived with my parents. I had to move out. I was living in my friend's house for like 2 weeks to a month in his living room. I put up bathroom curtains in the living room to have privacy. And I had a blow up mattress there, and I had a little table. And I remember I would play video games because at the time I was playing Call of Duty, and I was living in my friend's living room. And to make it even worse, my friend had roommates. So the roommates were super mad at me all the time because I'm living in their living room, and it's super dirty because it's like a frat house, a whole bunch of boys. And I'm literally homeless. I'm literally homeless. And I'm still like pushing through as an entrepreneur. And that was after like the first cycle. The first cycle, I made a whole bunch of money in crypto. Then I started trying to make a marketing company. I tried to make an eBay business. I tried to make like a whole bunch of different businesses. Fail. And I had to move back in with my parents, which is super embarrassing, right? And then I literally went homeless. And I kept pushing through. The one thing in my mind was, if I just don't give up, I'm going to get through the storm. It's going to happen. I'm developing a skill set. Something's going to work for me. Then I got a job selling insurance. I got a job, and I have videos on my YouTube channel. That's the beauty of this channel too. This is why I don't think I'll ever delete the videos, even though a lot of the concepts and things I've talked about in the past, I don't currently believe in anymore. But I won't delete it because it shows the progress of me as an entrepreneur. I have videos of me in that same office. I was homeless. I got a job, and thank God I got an apartment after I got that job. And I'm selling insurance, like working 12-hour days, like crazy shifts, putting in 1,000 calls a day. And I have videos of me in the office, as an entrepreneur, just like talking about crypto. I remember telling my friends in the office about crypto and them just brushing it off. And they're like, yeah, whatever, bro. Yeah, and just brushing it off. And I quit that job. I ended up quitting that job. And that's literally when my career started. So if I gave up when I was homeless, literally just 2 months later, I achieved financial independence for my YouTube channel as well as my crypto investments. 2 months later, I achieved true financial independence. But it took me having to go so low to realize it. So only those who risk going too far can possibly find out how far they can go. And I've taken a lot of risk on in my life. I've come to a realization that in today's day and age, the way the system's made for you, you have to take on risk. In order to succeed, your desire for success should be greater than your fear of failure. So a lot of times people will be held back because they think they're going to lose money in crypto, right? Oh, it's a scam. It's a Ponzi scheme. There's booms and busts. You got to take on risk. It's the quote, there's nothing for me to add here. In order to succeed, your desire for success, so your desire for winning, should be greater than your fear of failure. So that's essentially the mind state I was in when I was going through all the trials and tribulations of my entrepreneurship journey. So for you, I say to you, I don't care if you lost money last cycle. I don't care if you're completely broke. I genuinely don't care if you're on the street. I don't care if you have nothing to your name and you're probably trying to figure out, Alex, what's the point of watching these videos if I have no money to my name? How could I invest? I don't care if you're in Zimbabwe and you have $10 to your name and that's your life savings. I don't care. None of it matters. Because again, your desire for success should be greater than your fear of failure. You could start off literally with nothing right now and it would not matter. And I know you can get rich off of cryptocurrency if you do it the right way. If you put in work and do it the right way, I know for a fact. And it's crazy. I'm even saying this. And this is the beauty of my channel. I love that I kept the videos. Go watch it. If you're new here, go watch a couple of videos ago. I made a multi-million-dollar empire. I didn't lose any money to investing in crypto. I actually made a whole bunch of money. That was actually the best part of my, like when it comes to financial success, investing in crypto and trading was like actually the most lucrative. Where I made mistakes was I made a business and my hiring process sucked. And I got drained for money through payroll. I was paying a lot of people. I was paying at one point $120,000 a month in payroll. And if you look at my videos like a couple of weeks ago, I think a month ago, probably a little bit more than that, I actually lost everything financially. So I'm not just saying this as like a motivational David Goggins video, like, yeah, push through. I'm talking about, I'm experiencing it right now with you. A lot of you have lost a lot of money. I bet you a lot of you have more crypto than I have. And I'm experiencing it literally with you right now. We're getting it out of the mud. There's nobody that does this and shares this truth. I told you I'm living for truth. I'm not going to lie. There's no way I'm going to lie. I'm transparent because I know there's people going through exactly what I'm going through right now. I said it and I'll say it again. I'm going to physically drag you across the bear market finish line. If I have to, I don't care. You guys don't even know the story. You should look at my channel, look at my old videos, new people. I've been hacked 2 times. Okay. My life has been threatened on the internet for some of the things I said. There's big entities that did not want me to talk because the things I was saying was exposing the mechanisms in which they used to make money. Pump and dumps. I was exposing pump and dumps. I was verbally showing people how pump and dumps work. I was showing them. You guys could look it up like a year ago. And entities way richer than me with a lot more money. I don't know who they are. They're anonymous. I was getting death threats. People were coming to my house. I was getting attacked. I got hacked. My Zoom got hacked, which is a very, very unlikely hack. It's like very uncommon. Like it's almost impossible. I don't know how they did it. That's how you know the entity was big. I got hacked on my Zoom call. They displayed porn and one of my public live Q&As. I got my cryptocurrency got hacked. I got my crypto stolen. So what I'm trying to explain to you guys here is that I'm in the mud with you, and it doesn't matter. I don't care what situation. I've gone through it all. I've gone through so much in this crypto market. I've gone through so much, and I'm telling you right now that I'm doing it. I'm doing it right in front of your face. I'm doing it right in front of your face. I'm going to show you again from scratch. I am in no way, shape, or form rich right now, but I'm showing you right in front of your face. And last month I made money. I'm making money. It's coming back. So you guys literally saw the fall. Boom. Then you're seeing me. I'm like right here. Like it's already blasting off. I already see financial breakthrough. It's already happening for me. And I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to bring you with me. This is a one in a lifetime opportunity to watch a mentor go through it with you at the same time. We're all struggling together. I know. I understand what you're going through. I understand what a lot of people are going through. And I'm telling you, do not give up. Don't get bearish. Don't let these people shake you out of your bags. It's not time for that. The facts and the evidence are clearly stating bull run. People are worried about a 20% drop. And by 23% drop, I mean this 23% drop down to the 20K price level that everybody keeps talking about. How we're in a death cross and all of this bearish news. Everybody's saying that we're coming down to this support level here. That's what I mean by 23% drop. When they should be worried about the big comeback, the monumental comeback that cryptocurrency goes through every single cycle. Joshua 1:9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. I get it. Bill Cosby, great dude. T.S. Elliott, smart dude. Steve Jobs, obviously super smart. But when it comes to credibility, the Bible is the oldest book in the history of mankind. It has the most credibility out of any source of truth I have ever experienced in my entire life times a million. I've read hundreds of books, and the truth that I got from the Bible trumps every self-help book I have ever seen in my entire life by far. I've read hundreds of self-help books. That's how I came up as an entrepreneur. It's self-help books, business books, self-help books, hundreds. I got a whole lot. This is 1 out of 3 of the libraries I own. And I've never, ever in my entire life seen anything so true and so accurate as the Bible. So I have to say, in the Bible, have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. It's literally commanding people to be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. I don't care who you are, if you believe in a higher power. It says it right there, to be courageous. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. 20% drop. Bitcoin support at 20K like everybody's talking about. That's a 23% drop that people are worried about. People are worried. They're moving in fear. But it demands in the Bible that you be courageous. Don't be afraid. Stop moving off of fear. I don't move off of fear. And you shouldn't either, because it will put you in a bad position the same way it put me in a bad position in the past. Moving off of fear is not the answer. It never is. I don't care if you believe in the Bible or not. You will agree with what I'm saying. Fear should not be fueling your investment decisions. I don't care who you are that is emotional. Fear should not be influencing your life. It should not be influencing your life. Why? Because the biggest companies in the world are in crypto. PayPal, Square, Visa, MasterCard, Microsoft, Tesla, Overstock, AT&T, Dish Network, Home Depot, Starbucks, Walmart, Elon Musk, Mark Cuban, Michael Saylor, Tyler Winklevoss and the Winklevoss twins. I mean, these names are huge. Look through it. How do I explain this to you guys? But the biggest companies in the world are already adopting crypto. So if it's a scam, then they're investing in all of their infrastructure, all of their time, all of their money into a scam. That's what they're doing. So if the biggest companies, the biggest infrastructure, big famous people are all interested in this asset class, you should be too. It's not a scam. Ray Dalio. You guys can read this for yourself. Screenshot it. Paul Tudor Jones. Come on, man. Bill Miller, right? Cathie Wood. These are big names, and they're predicting. Look at Cathie Wood. She's predicting Bitcoin to be 1 million by 2030. Can you broaden your time horizon a little bit? Stop looking at Instagram models and thinking that you're going to get rich in the next week. Be patient. That's why I started this video off of focus and patience, because it's very important. If you don't have focus and patience, you're going to act like these people that are worried about a 23% loss. They're freaking out about Bitcoin dropping 20%. Are you serious? The first cycle Bitcoin ever had, it dropped 98%. Throughout history, Bitcoin has shown it falls 23%. What are you scared about? What are you scared about? What are you scared about? Why are people moving in fear? Why is there so much panic in the crypto market? Why? Tell me why. I want to know why. It bothers me so much, because you got to be grateful. It's the greatest asset class to invest in. The fact that you guys even know this much information, it should blow your mind, right? Because the technology is way too advanced. Web 3.0 is clearly better than Web 2.0. You have actual ownership over your data and content. You have more control over your privacy, more transparency, right? Way more transparency with the public blockchain, more secure due to decentralization. Applications and services, they all work together. There's more interoperability. And the innovation is just so much better than Web 2.0. It's an upgrade. Do you guys know that there was a Web 1.0 and then it upgraded to Web 2.0? The actual technology, I was talking to my friend the other day. I got to say it again. I was talking to my friend. I'm like, he trades Forex. And I'm like, you should get into crypto. He's like, nah, I like trading Forex. I'm like, okay, what are you going to do when the broker that you trade on, the actual software that you trade on, right? The actual software eventually has to migrate to crypto and blockchain. What are you going to kick yourself in the butt? Think about that. Forex traders will eventually, their softwares, when they log in and they go to trade, their softwares are going to change to blockchain tech. So the people that are in other asset classes that are making a fraction of the money that we make in crypto, they're just grinding super hard, day trading to try to make money, things of that nature. When they have to transition to blockchain technology because every financial infrastructure is transitioning to Web 3.0, what are they going to think to themselves? Dang, bro, it's that crazy innovative that although it was manipulated and there was lack of liquidity, although I have all these reasons not to invest in crypto, the actual software that I'm using transferred to crypto, that just blows my mind that people don't see this. It's not just finance and money, man. It's software. It's software. It's information systems. It's the new internet. I can't believe people don't get this through their head. This is literally what we're living in now. For example, on the left-hand side, and this recently just started getting popular, probably within the last 2 years. There was websites that did it, but it was a minority from what I remember. Back in the day, we would have to actually type in our email and our password in every single website. Imagine, how many times have you recovered your password? How many times, right? So many times. Me, even to this day, I do it all the time, right? As you can see on the left-hand side, right? On the left-hand side, you have to click sign up with your Google account, and then it signs you in. It's pretty fast, right? If you're signed into Google, right? But on the right-hand side, it's the same thing, but instead of signing in with a Google account and only email, it's only your email. That's like the primary form of identification right now is your email. On the right-hand side of MetaMask, you're signing up. You'll be, MetaMask, I believe, they're in the wallets of the future will have more than just cryptocurrency asset prices. They're going to have the cryptocurrency that you own, your wallet. It's also going to be a form of communication, I believe. It's going to be essentially everything you do on the internet. So as you navigate from website to website, you're going to click one button and it's going to say confirm, just one button. You'll be able to sign in anywhere in the entire, just imagine you go to a new website, you load it, you click one button, you're signed in. You'll be able to purchase on that website anything you want without having to upload your card or any of those, anything. That's how it's going to be. It's essentially going to be like one click for everything you do, but it gives you more security, more ownership over your data. So imagine one click on every website you ever use. That's crypto and Web 3.0. That's what's happening. One click to buy, one click to sell, one click to sign in. Imagine, right? But you get more ownership over your data. You have more control over your privacy, more transparency, more security, more interoperability. Pretty much every box you could check off, you get a boost from Web 3.0. There's no way the world's not going to adopt this, just simply off the technological argument, not the financial increase, which we're going to be talking about this video with the Ethereum price prediction, but just off the technological, like the technology, the world is going to adopt it. You essentially have no choice. Just like people had no choice to adopt the internet. Some people are maybe in the wilderness somewhere, haven't, had internet since whatever, right? Never had internet in their life. Maybe there's still people like that. But right now, we're at a point where you have no choice. You either adopt it now or you adopt it in the future. It's as simple as that. Now, I want to go over this because this will blow your mind a little bit. And I want to show you that not only do you have no choice to adopt the technology, but you have no choice but to invest in crypto. I mean, look, I say this all the time. Even when you don't make a decision, you're still making a decision. So there's some people are like, I just choose not to jump into crypto. I just choose not to do anything. I'm just going to chill on the sidelines. And yeah, I'm good where I'm at. Well, I'm going to show you that is a choice. That is a choice, and it comes with consequences. With every choice in life, it comes with consequences. So if you look at the average income in America, which is $67,521, I want you guys to think, and you could do the math with me. I think it's smart if you do the math because it will really show you where you're at. But I want you to take your annual income. The average in America is $67,521. And this is for the whole household, by the way. So don't feel bad about it, but it's supposed to be for the whole household. And if you live by yourself, that's considered a whole household, right? So the entire household is $67,521. If you're spending $17,000 on housing, right, which if you look on the right-hand side, that's a $1,400, $1,416 per month on rent, which is kind of normal. I think $1,000 to $2,000 is normal for everywhere in the United States. If you're spending $583 on food, I spend way more than that. I'm spending like $1,500. I got 2 daughters and a wife though. But yeah, $583. It's $750 on transportation, your car note, gas, things of that nature. And $416 on healthcare and other expenses like, random vacations, or if you want to buy an Xbox, or if you want to go to whatever expenses you want. And if you look at the left-hand side, after taking into consideration taxes, inflation, vacation and leisure, right? Taking all these into consideration, you can make the adjustments for yourself. Really, all you could do is save $2,667 per year. That's the world we're living in. We're living in a world where if you look at it monthly, most people on average could only invest $222 a month. $222 a month, right? So again, if you're not investing in an asset class that appreciates by larger percentages, you're putting yourself in a hole, right? And this is not including healthcare if there's a big problem. This isn't including if you have to get your tires changed and you run into a car accident and you have to pay a big lump sum to get your car fixed. It's not including any of that. If you look at those statistics, the average American spends $5,000 on healthcare each year, right? That's crazy. Out of pocket for a single health issue on average is $2,100. So let me say that again. In 2020, The average out-of-pocket spending for a single health issue, just one health issue, is $2,100. And right here, the total savings per year that you can have is $2,667. Think about that. That's insane. So really, like, the $222 is an overestimation, I believe, from what most people are doing. This is if you're like perfectly disciplined and you're not going on crazy vacations, you're not spending money on VIP in Miami, right? This is like if you're really disciplined. So you essentially have no choice but to learn how to invest. And there's a lot of people out there, I told you, they don't want to invest in crypto. They just don't want to invest in crypto for whatever reason. But I'm going to show you that there's no other option, right? So let's say hypothetically you take the $222. Let's say you don't have any, accidents health-wise. I hope you guys are healthy. I hope you're taking your health serious. Let's say you take the $222 and you invested it in the S&P 500, right? How long will it take for you to make $1 million? The reason why I picked $1 million is because if you spend $50K a year, you have 20 years to retire. So let's say hypothetically you retire at the age of 60 and you want to spend the year 60 to 80 without having to worry about money, spending $50K a year. So what are the numbers on that? Which 50K a year is not going to get you by. We just showed those numbers, but just to make it interesting, we'll give it the benefit of the doubt, right? So $1 million will give you 20 years to retire. Watch this. Investing $222 every month into the S&P 500 for an average annual return of 10%, which if you look at the S&P 500 for the past 40 years, on average, it gives you 10%, including compounding it monthly. So this is including the compound effect. It will take you 41.5 years, 41.5 years to reach or exceed $1 million. I know you guys seen those TikTok videos where the person's like, you want to become a millionaire? All you have to do is put $100 into the S&P 500 by the age of 70 every single month until you're 70. And then when you're 70 years old, you could retire a millionaire. You want to make your first million? That's how you make your first million. That is sad. That is sad. You invested. This is pretty good, by the way. This is supposed to be good. This is like basic stuff that you learn in elementary school finance. But if you invested the $222 every single month, your total investment is $110,000, and you profit $889,000 with the compound effect and the 10%. That's pretty good. That's not bad. That's not bad. It's just not going to 41 years. How old are you? Are you 30 years old? Are you 25? Are you going to retire at 70, 75 years old? You're going to retire at those ages? No, you want to retire at 60. So this is not cutting it. But I'm going to show you that it's even worse than that. This is why those videos, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why they say it. I don't know why they say it. It's not real life. Sometimes they say it just to go viral. I don't know why they think this works. Because over 42 years, if we take the average percentage of inflation, so for example, 42 years ago, $1 million was worth much more than $1 million is worth today. So if we take the average of 3% inflation, the value of the $1 million depreciated by $703,000. $703,000 is the depreciation of $1 million. So in terms of purchasing power, $1 million today would be equivalent to $296,000 42 years ago, with an average inflation rate of 3%. This year, inflation's at 6%. Last year was at like 7%. So 3% is definitely undershooting it, right? Undershooting inflation. I believe inflation is going to go higher and higher over time. So if you consider, right, inflation at 3%, right, with an average inflation rate of 3% in 42 years, when you're going to retire supposedly off of this S&P 500 plan, $1,000 today would have a nominal value of approximately $3.37 million. So to have the same effect of being able to retire in 20 years of retirement, to have that same effect, you would have to make $3.37 million, not $1 million, not $1 million. $1 million is not going to cut it in 42 years because of inflation. Let me say it again. $1 million will not cut it in 42 years, because in 42 years, the value of the $1 million will go down by roughly 70%. So you need 3.3 million to give you the same retirement effect. And if you do that same compound effect, and this is where it's going to blow your mind. So if you looked for 3.37 million and you want the 20-year retirement, how long would that take? That would take 58.5 years to get the same or exceed 3.3 million. So 58.5 years, how old are you? Are you going to retire at 80 years old? Like, think about these things. Just really, really think about these things. Like, internalize it. Really listen to what I'm saying here. When I say you have no choice but to invest in crypto, I'm literally telling you the truth. This is the honest truth. You have no choice but to learn this new emerging asset class, because the returns you get in crypto will actually get you to true retirement. You have to learn investing. People have no choice. You cannot passively invest in anymore. It is not probable. It doesn't work. It's literally financial suicide. It's financial suicide by not trying and learning how to invest and looking at all the asset prices. You have to beat 10% a year. If you don't beat 10% a year, you're setting yourself up for failure. It bothers me because I know my parents deal with this too, and I know other parents that deal with the same thing. It bothers me so much that people go throughout their life blind for 60, 70 years. They get to the point where they're going to retire, and money is still holding them hostage. It's still holding them by their throat. They can't stop thinking about it because they don't have enough money to retire, because they listened to the common narratives and themes of that time, which the common narratives are today. Oh, invest in your 401k, put it into a fund, a passive fund. Go to your financial advisor. He'll get you 10% returns a year. That is the current status quo of investing. I want you guys to share this with a friend that have told you they don't care about money. They don't want to learn about money because they think it's evil or something. Share it with them and show them this. You could snip a certain part of the video and share it with them. Share this with them because they need to know. They're blind. They're like NPCs, non-playable characters. They're playing in this game like this. Like, I'm just going to work every day. I'm going to work 1/3 of my life every single day. 1/3, I'm going to spend the majority, not the majority, but a significant portion, 1/3 of my life for the system. And then maybe one day I'll get 20 years worth of retirement. Maybe one day I'll get 20 years, but when they come up to that point, it's going to be too late. When you're 60 years old, it's too late. It's too late. So do you have a friend? Do you have someone that you need to help? They have to invest in crypto. There's no other financial asset class that would get you higher returns. This is why you see BlackRock and a lot of these big institutions they're playing ball. They're playing ball because they realize that the system doesn't work. It doesn't work, and they want to eat. This is why I hate it so much, because these big institutions are taking it more serious than the everyday person. Like, increase your hunger, man. Like, think about what's going on. And the thing is that this is the actual average age of the people that watch my channel. 35 to 44 years old, 25 to 34. Do you want to add 68, 58 years? On top of that number is like 70, 80, bro. You're going to be working till you're 80. You're going to be working till you die, unless you get higher than 10% a year. So I say this with confidence. And of course, there's some variables I'm missing, right? And there's some variables on both ends, the pros and the cons of the situation. But just rough sketch math, it's not working out. It's not playing out. But I have good news for you. I don't want it to be all doom and gloom, because you already know what's up. The total global stock market size is currently estimated around 112 trillion in US dollars. So if you look at all the stocks in the entire world, $112 trillion its total value. Guess what? Cryptocurrency is 1.1 trillion as today's date. So that's 1%. So cryptocurrency is only 1% of the total global stock market. In other words, the global stock market is 100 times larger than the total cryptocurrency market. And this is what you call first mover advantage. Yes, the current system's all doom and gloom, but jump off of that boat onto the new boat. We got a yacht. We got 5 yachts. We got the most innovative technology in the world right in front of your face. Like, wake up. Right in front of your face, the most innovative technology on planet Earth, right smack in your face, right here. And we have growth. We have an opportunity to grow. We have a huge opportunity to grow. A monumental opportunity to grow. People are always saying we're in the visionary stage, right? This is the adoption cycle of any technology. This is a very popular chart. You see it all over. The adoption cycle for any technology. We are not early adopters. We're not early adopters. We're before innovators. 2.5%. We're before innovators. Like if you only understood what 10 years in crypto is about to look like, what 20 years in crypto is about to look like, you're going to look back at this video and be like, no, this changed my entire life. Some of you are getting convicted right now. You're probably feeling it like, yes, I need to learn how to invest. You're going to look back at this video and you're going to be like, what the heck? We were early. We were early, man. We are early, man. We're so early. But people are worried about a 20% dip. People are worried about a 27% dip, a 23% dip. It blows my mind. The focus gets out of whack when you're worried about money. When you're worried about money, when you're worried about quick fix and I'm gonna get this quick thing, I gotta eat this month, I gotta make money this month. You start getting out of the focus. Focus up. We got a big game to play. Don't miss out because the first mover advantage is real. I proved it with scientific peer-reviewed papers in my couple videos ago. Now I want to talk about it a little bit deeper. We have brand recognition. So if you build a brand in the cryptocurrency space early, you have a first mover advantage. Customer loyalty. If you build a business in this market early, you have a first mover advantage. Economies of scale. First movers can often achieve economies of scale before their competitors. This is because they have a head start in terms of production and distribution. This can all be you, or this can be you investing in a company that gets all of this. We have the first mover advantage in a new emerging asset class that's guaranteed to be adopted with 100 times growth rate of just the stock market, which is not just the stock market. We know crypto is even bigger than the stock market, which is the next infrastructure of the internet and Web 3.0. I don't know how else to explain it to you. The network affects all of these benefits you get. I'm not even gonna read it off because I don't care, bro. You should catch it right now. You should catch this by now. Share this with a friend that doesn't believe in crypto. It's ridiculous. It's nonsense. People think it's a scam still. It's nonsense. Stop it. You're shooting yourself in the foot. Now I wanna show you this chart here because a lot of times, people are looking for the answer, right? They're looking to get the results of making money in crypto. I'm gonna say with confidence, I've gotten results in crypto like crazy. I've actually helped other people get results as well. And there's a couple ways you can go about it. And this is why I created CoinPix Inner Circle. And I promise we're gonna get to Ethereum price prediction that's coming up very soon. I have a lot of data for you guys, It's gonna be a deep, deep video. I wanna make this as deep as I possibly can because people just need to get the entire perspective. So hang with me. And you can watch this video later if you have to, if you don't have enough time. But right now, people typically do this when they're first. Now I convinced you of crypto. Everyone wants to get in crypto. Now, how do you get in crypto? How do you do it the right way? People typically go to crypto YouTube. They go to articles. They go to books. They go to their crypto friend. And they go all the way around. The quickest way from point A to Z is a straight line. They go all the way around, right? Because of this one major blockage. As you can see there, the block from the straight line is time, money, and experience. Those three things. Time, money, and experience. All you have to do is move that blockage, right? All you have to do is move that blockage with education, right? You can go that other route. You can go all the way around and you can learn it yourself. I learned it myself technically at the first cycle. I learned it myself the first cycle, lost everything. Then I actually invested in courses. I invested in education. I invested in people. I started talking to rich people that had the time, money, and experience, that had all of those things. Instead of trying to do it myself and listen to random people that don't even know who I am, I started investing. I spent thousands of dollars on courses, a lot of money on courses and education programs, month to month. I remember there was this month membership. I don't know the exact. I think it was like $5,000 a month, right? That I was buying these crazy educational courses, and I got really good. And that straight line got straight. In the second cycle, I went from making a couple grand the first cycle to making millions of dollars the second cycle. So I want to say, guys, CoinPix Inner Circle, the reason why I put it there is so that you can get the time, money, experience to do what you need to do. And it could be a straight line or you could go the other route. That's up to you. So it's time to wake up in general. No matter which route you go, it's time to wake up. And I really think you should take the short route, but that's up to you. And I want to say this pisses me off. The richest 1% of Americans now own more wealth than the bottom 92 combined. And that's from 2022. It's sad. It's so sad. It's so sad that we have these opportunities that people are missing out. It bothers me a lot. So here's our chance, right? Here's our chance to actually fight back. Here's our chance to push forward and get some of this big wealth transfer that's happening, right? Monumental wealth transfer. I proved it in this video. I proved it in countless videos. If you go through the archives, there's so much evidence. It's ridiculous. Here's our chance to stand up against the people that have put us in shackles. We have a chance. All you have to do is train your brain. Back in the day, you would have to escape, man. You would have to escape. You would have to fight for your life. And if you messed up, they would kill you. In today's day and age, you have a chance to unlimited, like legally try an unlimited amount of times to escape the system. Here's your chance to actually fight back. The supply shock is real. And I want to jump into the actual market now. I'm going to show you that the supply shock is ridiculous. So what we're looking at here is the Ethereum balance on exchanges. I want to show you the supply shock because there's Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF that's coming up, right? That we see companies applying for, and I'm going to show you why it's significant. There's a lot of people on the internet saying, "Oh, the news was bad. It pumped the price and then it went right back down immediately." I'm going to tell you why the news was literally not the reason why I think the price is going to pump. It was the most shallow reason. I could care less about news. I'll show you the fundamentals behind what an ETF is, right? So here's one example. As you can see, the price of Ethereum is increasing. So you can see right there, the price of Ethereum is increasing, right? Now look at the actual Ethereum on exchanges. So the balance on exchanges. Exchanges are notorious for buying and selling, right? It's an exchange. You buy and sell. Look at the Ethereum come off the exchanges and look at the price of the asset of the Ethereum asset. So this is what a supply shock is. As people take more and more Ethereum and they hold more and more Ethereum, the actual asset increases. A simple supply and demand. If there's less supply to buy, the price increases, right? So it's the same thing with Bitcoin. I want to explain a simple concept. This is on-chain metrics. This is Bitcoin coming off the market. And as you can see, we've been experiencing supply shocks, right? Look at all the Bitcoin. It continuously comes off the exchanges. It continuously coming off. Look, we're in a downtrend. Look, a monumental downtrend. More and more Bitcoin is being taken off the exchanges like, hey, I'm not going to trade this. Right? You go to an exchange to trade. Most of the time, if you understand investing and you're actually doing it the right way, you go to an exchange to trade, especially with FTX exchange going down and all these exchanges going bankrupt. People just don't leave their money on exchanges anymore like that. Hopefully you don't. I hope you don't. And if you do, please invest in educational resources from a legitimate source. Invest in CoinPix Inner Circle. If you that's basic 101, and I'm not laughing at you. I want you to win. I don't want you to get wrecked. I don't want you to lose your money on exchanges. You got to learn this stuff. So people typically take their money off and it shocks the supply. There's less supply, meaning price increase, right? Now, not only are people taking money off exchanges, right? More and more over time, people are just taking Bitcoin off the exchanges, taking Ethereum off the exchanges, using it, saving it, using it, saving it. Since the beginning, guys, I want to show you since the beginning. This is since 2020. And if we had a chart that showed even further back, this is from 2018, it gets better and better. Trust me, it's a monumental downtrend. Not only that, but the Bitcoin halving effect. I have to say it again for a 20th time because people are just not catching. I don't know why. I don't know why. It's the lack of focus. It has to be the lack of focus because it's so straightforward. Look at the price of Bitcoin and look at the actual reward going down. So simply put, I'm gonna give you a simple explanation for people that don't understand the Bitcoin halving. Bitcoin, essentially every 10 to 15 minutes, rewards the miners. So the miners, I want you to imagine, right? I have a pickaxe and I'm mining Bitcoin, right? Oh, I found Bitcoin. I get rewarded. Put it in my pocket. Let's say it's gold. Oh, I'm mining. I found gold. Put it in my pocket. Now, when a gold miner mines, they're mining, it's a very simple process. They're literally going through rock and going through earth to get the gold, right? Well, Bitcoin is a little bit different. Computers do the mining. So instead of having a pickaxe, we have a super strong computer. And the super strong computer is pointed at the Bitcoin network. So it's actually a trade-off. It's better than a miner just wasting away time and energy just to get gold. With Bitcoin, they're mining in the form of computer power, but that computer power actually secures the network and makes the network resilient to attacks. So no one can take over the network. Essentially, if you want to take over the network, you have to spend more than all the miners combined, and that number is bigger than the value of the entire Bitcoin network. So essentially, there's no reason to take over the network Because if the network is worth $10 and it costs $15 to hack it, then why would you hack it? There's no financial incentive for someone to hack it because the value of all of the miners is more expensive. Like somebody would have to buy every single miner to hack Bitcoin, essentially. So when they're pointing their computers at Bitcoin, they're securing the security of it. They're securing the actual blockchain. And every 10 to 15 minutes, they get rewarded. Now they don't get directly rewarded. There's mining pools, and they get a fraction. They don't get all this Bitcoin, and we can go into that later. But essentially, there's a reward poofed out by a random lottery every 15 minutes to a group of miners. There's a group of miners. All right, this group of miners win 15 minutes. I'm gonna send Bitcoin over there. I'm gonna send Bitcoin over here. That is called not inflation, but issuance. So that they're issuing Bitcoin. So this is so important because Bitcoin has this crazy effect that not a lot of coins have, right? Inflation is what? Inflation is when you have a supply and there's more added on. So if you have a supply of 100 Jordans, the inflation rate of 2% 2 Jordans will be added every year. That's 2% of the 100, right? 2% so over time, the value of the Jordans will lose value if there's no demand increase. So if nobody knew, there's 100 pair of Jordans and 500 people want it, and only 500 people want it forever, right? And they add 2 pairs of Jordans, the value will decrease. Now, if the demand increases, if 1,000 people want it, that's a different story. But long story short, inflation is how much they're adding to the supply. The thing about Bitcoin, which is crazy, is that Bitcoin has a fixed supply coded in with that security. All that security we're talking about, it's secure. It can never be changed. And that's 21 million Bitcoin. There's nothing in the world that has a fixed supply. Let me say it again. Gold doesn't have a fixed supply. The United States dollar doesn't have a fixed supply. Silver doesn't have a fixed supply. There's nothing in the world that has a fixed supply, meaning it can never change. This is super important to understand. Why? Because the supply shock that I keep telling you is heightened now because there's only 21 million ever Bitcoin that's ever going to be issued. Every 15 minutes, there's an issuance number, there's the amount of Bitcoin that's put out. But once it hits 21 million, there's no more ever. And guess what? There's about 60 million millionaires in the world. So there's 60 million millionaires. There's only 21 million Bitcoin. If every millionaire grabbed a Bitcoin, it would be worth more than $1 million per Bitcoin. A lot more than that. Simple math. Now, what is the Bitcoin having? So you understand Bitcoin, you understand scarcity, you understand the fixed supply, you understand that every 15 minutes there's an issuance rate, meaning they're issuing a certain amount of Bitcoin every 15 minutes, not inflation. There's a difference. They're issuing a certain amount of Bitcoin. This is where it gets crazy. Every 4 years or so, it's not exactly 4 years. Okay. It works by the blocks, right? There's blocks in the blockchain. It's a blockchain. There's blocks. And that's why I say 10 to 15 minutes because some blocks get mined and the reward goes out a little bit earlier. Some take a little bit longer. It depends on the puzzle. They essentially put out they put out a puzzle and a whole bunch of people try to solve the puzzle. And that secures the network. It's a big topic. And I have more information in Inner Circle as well as my YouTube channel. There's a lot more explanations. You should watch the videos. But every 15 minutes, the issuance comes out and that rate gets dropped every 4 years or so. So it's about blocks. There's a certain amount of blocks. So once we hit this many blocks, let's say 1,000 blocks. I don't know the exact number. Let's say 1,000 blocks. Once it hits 1,000, okay, we're going to cut the issuance down. So that's what they did. That's what the halving is. That's what the Bitcoin halving is. They used to give out 50 Bitcoin every 15 minutes. Then they cut it down to 25. Then they cut it down to 12.5. Then they cut it down to 6.25. And the fourth halving is coming in March 2024. And they're going to cut it down to what? Whatever the half of that is. It's like 3.12 something. Every time that happens, as you can see from the price, there's a massive supply shock because everybody realizes there's not enough Bitcoin. There's not enough Bitcoin for the world. There's not. There's only 21 million. There's like 9 billion people on Earth. There's not enough Bitcoin. There's not enough Bitcoin. So that's what, and if you see, every time they cut it down, look at the supply, look at the price of Bitcoin. It goes crazy. The price of Bitcoin goes up by a lot because the supply shock. The supply shock. Everybody's worried about the Federal Reserve and they're like, the macro is horrible. Bitcoin's price can't go up. Do you understand that Bitcoin's a direct competitor to the macroeconomics indicators? Do you understand that most of the indicators are trying to predict the stock market and the US dollar, and Bitcoin's a direct competitor to the, like it's a separate system. Although it follows these, and you should take into consideration, I do a lot, follows the S&P 500. Trust me, it correlates a lot. Even though it does that, remember, let's not forget, it has its own monetary policy built in. And every single time since it launched, and don't bet against Bitcoin, every single time we go up by monumental percentages, and it shocks the supply even more. So over time, people are essentially putting away Bitcoin and shocking supply. Then we have this Bitcoin halving effect that shocks the supply, right? And this is just another example of what happens after the Bitcoin halving. Look where we're at right now. And this is a recent chart, by the way, so it's accurate. Look, the first halving, it went up 539, X. The second time it went up 112. Third time it went up 21. That's where we're at right now. And the upcoming halving is right around the corner. This is the perfect time. I'm trying to lay out the case for you guys. Like the perfect time. It's like if you wait 6 months, it's like kind of too late. Like not too late, but like you definitely procrastinated. If you wait 6 months from now to start getting serious about crypto, you procrastinated. If you would have did it 6 months ago, you're a little bit too early. This is like the time. You have like less than 200 days to prepare. Like 200 days, right? I want you guys to think about this, right? How much money can you save? Like a lot of you are working jobs, maybe making 50 to 70K a year, right? You're making 50 to 70K a year. If you want to put away 20 grand, do you realize how long it takes for you to save up $20,000? Do you realize how long it's going to take you to save up $20,000? You got 200 days to do it now. So if you wait 6-7 months from now, if you wait that long, like 6-7 months, like I'm going to wait 6-7 months to start worrying about crypto, you're too late. You can't save up 20 grand. This is the time right now to save up 20 grand. You want to get 100x on 20 grand, it's what? It's 100x on 20 grand. It's like $2 million. You want to become a millionaire? You got 200 days. Now's the time to save up your $20,000 and learn crypto at the same time. This is the time. This is the time. This is the time. Stop listening to short-term noise. Stop worrying about the price dropping 23%. Who cares? And this is just a visual representation of people that are holding Bitcoin. It increases over time. So this addresses holding and hodling Bitcoin. These are the actual amounts. This is 0.01 BTC, which is the green. 0.01 BTC. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 0.01 BTC is green. 0.1 BTC is that yellow. And then 1 BTC is the orange. And all three sectors over time, there's just more Bitcoin coming off the market and not moving. This is addresses holding it. So this is not an exchange. They're just holding it. Look, over time, the Bitcoin supply shock, they're just taking the Bitcoin, man. I don't know how else to explain it to you, but people are just taking the Bitcoin. And you'll see why I'm talking about Bitcoin. This directly relates to Ethereum. You'll see what I'm talking about. So supply shocks combined with printing is also really good for crypto. So if you look through history, right, we have these big events, right? The COVID-19 shock is basically showing the COVID-19 shock. And then they printed a whole bunch of money, right? The Federal Reserve printed a whole bunch of money to try to remedy what happened in the COVID-19 shock. They printed a whole bunch of money, right? What happened after that? If you look, here's the asset class. Here's just another example of me trying to explain to you that crypto and Ethereum and Bitcoin is just the best in the world. If you look at the NASDAQ or the S&P 500, they appreciated by 107% and 133%. But if you look at Bitcoin, it went up by 1,600%. If you look at Ethereum, it went up by 4,200%. So it's like, no matter the environment, printing or not printing, crypto is still the asset class to be in because it appreciates by more percentages. I also wanted to show this briefly because we're about to get really dirty into the price prediction. It's about to get crazy. I also wanted to show you guys this. Silicon Valley Bank went bankrupt, right? And it caused a cascading down effect of liquidations and liquidity. There was a massive liquidity problem in banks after that. Around this date, March 8th, March 9th, March 10th, March 12th, March 13th, right? These dates, we had these problems. Bitcoin went up in price around that time. So that's very interesting. Kathy Wood was talking about this. Bitcoin went up in price as the banks started collapsing. Just think about that. Think about that. Think about that. Think about that. That's big. And I also wanted to just point it out, specifically Ethereum. Today we're talking about Ethereum. Ethereum Okay, I don't believe it's going to be a store of value. This is actually from Fidelity. This is a Fidelity report, so a lot of credibility behind that. Fidelity is a billion-dollar empire, like it's very, very big. But basically, they looked at the stock-to-flow ratio, which we're going to be talking about the stock-to-flow ratio as well in this Bitcoin supply. Actually, let me show you guys that first. So this is the Bitcoin stock-to-flow ratio. This chart is not 100% accurate, but I like it because it gives us some perspective on the stock to the flow of Bitcoin. So the amount of flow is like the issuance that we've been talking about, like the flow coming out versus the stock, right? Stock to flow, stock to flow. So essentially, this is a good tool for the long term to forecast, how much Bitcoin's price is going to be. And you can see they take in consideration the Bitcoin halving. So when it gets close to purple, that means we're really close to the Bitcoin halving. When it's at red, that means we're really far from the Bitcoin halving. If you look at it, every single time we get close to purple, that's when the bull market starts. Purple, bull market starts. Purple, bull market starts. So it goes dark blue, purple, bull market starts every single time. Now this line right here is the actual prediction. This is the prediction here. So we're coming up to a point where it's predicting a $461,000 Bitcoin. So this is not 100% accurate all the time. As you can see right here, the first time it got well above that line. There's a lot of hype and speculation. The second time it got pretty high above that line. The third time it was pretty close to the line. So if we push it out, let's say it gets exactly on the line this time. I mean, we're thinking of $461,000 Bitcoin. And this takes in consideration the Bitcoin halving. The whole model is built. This whole model is built out of the Bitcoin halving effect. So I just wanted to show you guys that because I'm going to blow your mind a little bit deeper. They essentially made that entire indicator based off of the supply shock effect that I keep telling you about. Stock to flow, stock to flow. The supply shock is real. Now, Ethereum, as you can see here, claiming in July of 2023, Ether currently has a stock to flow ratio that is higher than Bitcoin as of July 2023 because they put in a burn effect after the merge on Ethereum. This dynamic has recently taken center stage since the merge, significantly reducing the amount of Ether being issued as shown below. Guys, please hear me out. Please hear me out what I'm saying right now. So the stock to flow ratio in terms of supply shock, in terms of price increasing, is literally better on Ethereum in July. In July, it's better on Ethereum than it was Bitcoin. And Bitcoin's literally known for this supply shock effect. And the price increase from Bitcoin comes from the supply shock effect. They put this burn rate into Ethereum for that reason, because they don't have a fixed supply. Ether doesn't have a fixed supply. They have inflation of about 2% a year, but they wanted to manage the issuance. So Bitcoin manages the total supply and the issuance. Ethereum just specifically only manages the issuance. And I believe it actually comes from more transactions. So the more transactions Ethereum has, the more it burns, and then the less issuance that actually comes out. So this is crazy. Let me read it one more time. Right here, Ether currently has a stock to flow ratio that is higher than Bitcoin as of July 2023. So it has remember, I just showed you a chart on the stock to flow. I showed you that Bitcoin gets catalyzed into these crazy numbers, into these all-out bull runs because of the stock to flow. And I'm showing you that Ethereum has a better stock to flow ratio as of July. And I think it's going to get better because there's going to be more transactions on Ethereum as time passes. This is insane stuff, guys. This is big time stuff. And it gets even better than that. We've heard news on it. There's a whole bunch of opinions. People are not bullish. Some people are bullish. A Bitcoin and Ethereum spot ETF will take so much off the market and shock the supply even more than what it's currently going. So I showed you so many reasons why the supply is getting shocked over a long period of time. This gets even crazier because people don't even understand it. So exchange traded funds, or ETFs, are an easy to use, low cost way to invest your money. An ETF can provide you with access to a diversified portfolio of stocks or bonds in a single investment that trades just like a stock. So it's a very simple way, and this is typically how wealthy individuals, how people with a lot of money are managing their funds, through ETFs. Now, there's a difference between one of these derivative ETFs and a spot ETF, because there already is Bitcoin derivative ETFs. Derivative ETFs, let me show you right here, or I don't have it here, but the derivative ETFs are essentially, they make a fake version of Bitcoin. They make a fake number of Bitcoin and it's supposed to follow Bitcoin exactly, but they're not really touching Bitcoin. They're just making a fake synthetic version of Bitcoin. And then as a portfolio holder, you can buy the fake Bitcoin. With a spot ETF, which is recently all the news, everything that's going on, with a spot ETF, they actually have to buy the Bitcoin. So if you invest in a spot ETF, the ETF fund will be like, okay, great, you're buying 2 Bitcoin. Perfect. We'll manage the Bitcoin for you. They go to the market, they take 2 Bitcoin off the market, which supply shocks it even further. And they give it, they don't give it to the person. They put it in the fund and then they give access to the person. They say to the person, hey, you got 2 Bitcoin in your account. There's a huge difference there. And the difference there is that they're taking more Bitcoin off the market. This is super important. The recent news was with Grayscale, and essentially they won a lawsuit against the SEC, basically saying, you know, why they didn't approve a spot ETF and they approved the other ETF, and essentially they have to reevaluate an argument to why they are not going to allow a spot ETF. And essentially BlackRock and a couple of other institutions like ARK Invest, they all started submitting applications. They're like, okay, they think the spot ETF is going to happen. They think the spot, so they started submitting applications to the SEC like, hey, we're applying. And a whole bunch of institutions started applying. And this is big because I want to show you why. What is driving demand for a Bitcoin ETF? What's the difference between someone just buying regular Bitcoin? Like, I'm just going to buy regular Bitcoin. You know, who cares about an ETF? Like what we're doing, a lot of us are doing, buying Ethereum or Bitcoin, right? The difference is, okay, is that this gives them more clarity. It gives crypto more legitimacy, right? They understand the rules. The rules around Bitcoin are not very clear. It's a big learning curve. A lot of people make investments without doing any research at all. It's very passive, right? So in this case, if it's on an ETF, it has to be legit, right? They don't have to set up a wallet. They don't have to learn about exchanges. They don't have to worry about the safety of the Bitcoin. They don't have to worry about any tax issues, which if you've been in crypto for a cycle, those tax issues are crazy. It took us so much time and we had to spend a lot of money too. A Bitcoin ETF can make this process much simpler. So the average wealthy investor, multimillionaire that doesn't care, that's literally retired on his like boat or something, and he's not really learning about investing, and he has a whole bunch of money, but he still wants to invest, can easily invest with no wallet needed, simple to buy, and it's attractive to these type of people. It's just so simple because their entire other stock portfolio, their bonds, everything they've ever purchased is in an ETF. So for them to invest in Bitcoin and go out of their ETF, having to withdraw the money and do all that, they don't want to do that. They just want to have it all in one place. And this is why a Bitcoin spot ETF is crazy. It's taking Bitcoin off the market and bringing so much convenience to a huge market that is untapped in crypto. A monumental market that's untapped in crypto of wealthy people is being tapped into. And I saw a video on this guy, I forgot his name, and he made a good point. And what happens is that, you know, for example, BlackRock, if they get the ETF, which by the way, their success rate is crazy with ETFs. They've only literally one time in the history of their entire company have been denied for an ETF. But let's say hypothetically they get the Bitcoin ETF. They start taking all of this Bitcoin off the market. They start taking it off and then they start loaning it out. What do you think the entire banking system is? All financial assets are essentially loans. Like it's a big loan game. If you understand it since the beginning of time, it's the most foundational rule of money. Loans and interest on the loan. So now we have this whole loaning mechanism that's going to happen with BlackRock. And they're going to control Bitcoin a lot. They're going to control Bitcoin a lot. And I just want to show this. BlackRock's ETF success rate with the SEC is 575 to 1. So do you think BlackRock's going to get this? I think it's guaranteed that they're going to get this. And when this happens, I want to go back to the original point. People are really, really, really worried about the news. Like, oh, the news was supposed to pump Bitcoin. But it's like, no, the news is not supposed to pump Bitcoin. What's supposed to pump Bitcoin is the people applying, winning the ETF, and then taking all of the Bitcoin. That's what pumps Bitcoin. The supply shock of all the Bitcoin going into the ETF. That's what pumps Bitcoin. The SEC has basically until October 15th. And this is 2023, by the way. So in October 15th, they essentially stalled. They said that they wanted to delay it 45 days. right? That's what they did. They extended it 45 days. October 15th is the date. That's next month, bro. I don't know how else to explain it to people, that they're worried about a 23% dip. You're worried about you're worried about a 23% dip. I don't understand. But if we look even further, I'm going to blow your mind. I'm going to show you what spot ETFs do. This is gold. So gold obviously is not a financial asset. I mean, it is a financial asset, but it's not like digital, right? It's physical. It's a physical piece of gold. So as you can see on the right-hand side, this is just the normal price of gold. You can see it throughout history. We can go very far back, right? Very, very far back. So this is like just the historical price of gold. On the left-hand side, this is when the SPDR Gold Trust. So this is a spot gold ETF. So this is essentially them taking gold off the market. I want you to look at the price of gold. Look at the left. When they launched the ETF, they launched the ETF right here. The price of gold increased by 355%. Now that's not a lot for crypto, because we know it increases by thousands of percentages. But that was right here. So do I think a Bitcoin spot ETF will have a positive price impact on Bitcoin? Yes. And this is just comparing it to gold. There is no Bitcoin ETF, so I can't really compare it to anything in a Bitcoin spot ETF. But I compared it to gold. And I mean, I believe it helped gold immensely because it gave access to so many people. Think about the inconveniences of holding gold, and then think about the inconveniences of holding Bitcoin. They're both very inconvenient to hold. But if you could just simply buy it through an ETF by clicking one button and it's shown with all of your investment portfolio, then what happens is you get more exposure and more people buying gold and more people buying Bitcoin. That's what happens. More people want to buy it because it's easier to buy. It's as simple as that. And there's more credibility behind it. So now let's get into the meat and bones of this video, which is the Ethereum price prediction. I'm going to go pretty deep. This is going to be pretty extensive. So take notes, do what you have to do. I know this video is kind of long by now, but it doesn't matter. It's all education. It's teaching you. The reason why I set that up for you is because we all know that when Bitcoin goes in price, Ethereum goes in price, and all the altcoins go up in price. Let me show you. So as you can see here, this is the correlation between Bitcoin, Ethereum, and altcoins. So essentially the tops and bottoms are pretty much identical. So the reason why I've been establishing the supply shock for Ethereum and Bitcoin, because if Bitcoin goes up in price, then everything else will follow, and all the altcoins that I talk about will follow, everything. As you can see, the correlation is almost identical. The top chart right there is Ethereum's price, the middle chart is Bitcoin's price, and the bottom chart is all of the altcoins. So these monumental percentages, the percentages I've received in the past, like 100x's, 10,000% returns, will happen when Bitcoin increases. So when Bitcoin goes up, all the altcoins will just be going crazy in price, and we'll have these crazy altcoin seasons, and we'll all make a whole bunch of money. So I had to establish that kind of Bitcoin supply shock narrative before I go into the Ethereum price prediction, just to give you that credibility. Let's jump into the Ethereum price prediction. So this is where it gets real, and I'm very excited about this. I'm going to simply break down the formula of market capitalization, because we're going to be using this and we're going to be using it a lot. So market capitalization is a total circulating supply multiplied by the current token price. And that's how you get like these big market caps or whatever the case is. So I'm not going to go over this too much because it can get complex. If you want all the details, join CoinPix Inner Circle. But there's two formulas I'm going to be using, which is the growth rate formula and the decay rate formula. So growth rate equals the new value minus the old value divided by the old value multiplied by 100%. And you can look this up for yourself. It's very simple. Essentially, if you have values that are increasing, there's a rate by which it increases. That's the growth rate. If you have values decreasing, there's a rate by which it decreases. That's the decay rate. And so I'm using these to try to predict the price of Ethereum. So the first thing I did is I looked at all of crypto. So every asset class, everything, all Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins combined. And I took the values, as you can see at the top right there. And the reason why I took them all is because it gives us a bigger data set. It gives us more numbers to work with. And the more numbers you have, the more accurate your price prediction gets. The further out you go in your price prediction and the more numbers you have, the more accurate it gets. The shorter term it is, the least accurate it gets. So we have the first value, the second value, and the third value. The third value is 2.7 trillion. So at the top of the market in this last cycle, all of cryptocurrency got to about 2.7, 2.8 trillion dollars. So I got those three values, and all I did is I took the actual growth rate. So by how much rate right, did it grow? And I predicted right here, and you can see the math on the right-hand side. Go ahead and screenshot the video and you can look over it yourself. And I basically use ChatGPT to help me out with the math. But essentially it gives you, okay, it gives you that the fourth value. So meaning if you're using the growth rate to calculate this, the fourth value in this total market capitalization, they predicted with the same growth rate. So if you took the same growth rate that it's been growing by, if it stayed consistent, will give you $72 trillion, $72.9 trillion and it makes sense because it grows. It's a growth rate, right? So $72 trillion for the total market capitalization of all crypto. Now we got a little bit deeper. Now we have the total market capitalization of all cryptocurrencies in the market, but how much of that will Ethereum capture, right? So if you have everything, I want to know specifically Ethereum, right? Now I took the decay rate. Now, as you can see here, Ethereum is decaying, right? So this is the ETH dominance chart. So this is how much dominance Ethereum has over the entire crypto market. It's very simple, straightforward. I actually circled both of them there for you guys. I took ETH dominance the 2 times that we could see it because it's only been apart in 2 cycles. The first time I had 38.69% dominance, and this is at the all-time high. And the second time I had 21.31%. So if it decays by the same rate that it decayed before, okay, the new dominance at the all-time high of the next cycle will be 11.74%. And on the right-hand side, we have all the math there for you to go ahead and check for yourself. Now, all I did, very simple, is I multiplied the 11.74 by the total market capitalization of all cryptos. And it gave me $8.5 trillion for the total market capitalization of Ethereum, 8.563 or whatever the case is. That's the new market capitalization of the next cycle's all-time high. The next cycle's all-time high, that's the market cap of Ethereum. Let's find the price. So we have the first part of the equation, which I told you guys the market cap, right? We have the first part, which is $8.56 trillion. Now we need to find the circulating supply, and that will give us the token price. So we need to understand one thing before we find the actual circulating supply. Remember, this is predictable stuff. They have a growth rate as well, issuance rate of Ethereum, right? So we need to find, first thing, time. How long will it take to get to the next cycle's top? So I took Bitcoin because Bitcoin has a bigger data set. And I looked at exactly from the Bitcoin halving time to the top. Bitcoin halving, how long did it take to get to the top? And I got a certain amount of days, right? And as you can see, it's actually taking longer and longer every cycle. So what does that mean? That's a growth rate. I took the growth rate of how many days it takes to get to the top from the Bitcoin halving event, and I have a number of 690 days. So from the next Bitcoin halving, which is March 2024, approximately 690 days after that point, we will reach the all-time high. Now, you're probably asking the questions, Alex, why do we need that date? Well, we need that date right there, which is January 2026. We need January 2026 because then we'll know how much issuance Ethereum will have, how many coins will be in the circulating supply, and it'll give us our circulating supply. So if the current Ethereum circulating supply is 120 million, it's basically an annual growth rate of 6.4%, which is public information. You can find it on Etherscan. The annual supply growth rate is 6.4%. So if we assume that the all-time high for Ethereum will happen in somewhere around January 2026, there will be approximately 147 million Ethereum. Now we have the second part of the equation. The second part of the equation. Now we can do some rough math. We can essentially manipulate the equation to give us what we want. If we want to find the actual value, we just divide it instead, right? So to get the token price, we essentially do the total market capitalization divided by the circulating supply of all-time high of Ethereum. And we have an Ethereum price of $58,231. That's pretty crazy. $58,000 Ethereum. So this is exactly what it looks like actually on the chart. And I want to show you the actual chart so we can play around with it a little bit. Yeah, so this is the top here. So if we look at the top right-hand side, we're looking at like a 68,000, which is like right here. It's actually a little bit off. I got to bring it up a little bit. So this is 690 days. And we're looking at, and I'm sorry, not a 68,000, 58,000. So this is about right. 58,000 right there. That's what it'll look like. Now, it looked a little bit aggressive to me. It's like, it's a little bit too much. Because if you just draw a line, just like a simple line, it's kind of bringing us to what? like a 23,000. So that's my range. My range is anywhere from like 26,000 to 58,000. And right now, Ethereum is at 1,600. So in both situations, this is life-changing wealth. In both situations, not to mention the chart I just showed you, where honestly, I'm not going to buy Ethereum. I'm going to look at it as a measurement so I can buy the altcoins on Ethereum and make way more money. But even just Ethereum, the most basic of the basic, simple asset to buy, the most basic of the basic, simple asset to buy is going to appreciate by crazy percentages, 3,541% increase. The most simple basic asset. The simplest, it's crazy. This Ethereum price prediction blew my mind as I broke it down. The most simple one is going to give us these crazy returns. And even if it doesn't go this high, I mean, even a $30,000 Ethereum is still crazy returns. Let's look at it. Delete. This green zone is kind of like the zone of where I think it's going to be. So if we go to 30,000, I mean, we're talking about a 1,844% increase over 690 days. 690 days, approximately 2 years. So remember, we look back at the previous research where I showed you that 10% a year is not going to cut it. Well, I think that, was half of 1,800. 900% a year is going to cut it. 900% a year is going to cut it. 900% a year is going to cut it. That's all I got to say. So this is what I'm talking about. This is what I keep trying to explain to people. So if you invest $5,000 into Ethereum in today's day and age, and it gets to that price, it gets to the 58,000, you would be turning your $5,000 into $178,000. You see what I'm talking about? There's nothing like this on earth. And Ethereum, I'm going to say it again. I have to be clear with you guys before I go. I have to say, Ethereum is the most basic of the basic. I'm not buying Ethereum. I'm showing you this because if Ethereum increases in price, all of the assets on Ethereum, if you understand the technology, all of the assets on Ethereum will increase by like 10x this, maybe 50x this, maybe 100x this. Do you think 3,471% is good? Try 20,000%, 60,000%. That's what some of these altcoins are going to do. So I want to say to you guys, again, I want to reestablish this, right? Because we come over here, right? And we look at Bitcoin's price, right? We look at Bitcoin's price. Everybody's freaking out, right? Federal Reserve, macroeconomics are horrible right now. Okay, we come down 23%. That's still a bull market. This was still the bottom. That's an uptrend. Even if we come down to right here to $20,000 Bitcoin, we come down to $20,000, that's an uptrend. That's an uptrend. And you're worried about losing 23%. People are worried about losing 23%. I'm sorry, but I can't be bearish when we reach the bottom and we're in an uptrend. And I can't be bearish when Ethereum is going to go up by potentially 3,000%. And I can't be bearish when all the altcoins that I'm going to purchase is going to go up by 10,000%. And I can't be bearish when we're worried about 23% drop. Like, I can't be bearish. How could I be bearish when the Bitcoin halving is around the corner? How could I be bearish when they're creating Bitcoin and Ethereum spot ETFs? How could I be bearish when they have a new mechanism built into Ethereum that happened during the merge that burns Bitcoin off the market and the issuance of Ethereum is less than Bitcoin? How could I be bearish? Please tell me, how could I be bearish? How could I be bearish? How? When this market 2 times in a row has changed my entire existence? How could I be bearish when I saw so many people make money, make millions of dollars, kids that were 18, 19 years old making 6 figures? How could I be bearish? How? When I've seen so many people's lives change, how could I be bearish when the new infrastructure of the entire internet, where pretty much you spend the majority of your life, accessing the internet, is changing to a new technology that you can somehow invest into now? Before you couldn't. We're investing into the new internet. How could I be bearish? You tell me. Leave it in the comment section below. I want to know. I want to know. I want to know. Please tell me who's bearish. Why? I want to know. And this is a great Ethereum price prediction for everybody. So definitely share it with somebody. That's it. That's it for the ranting, man. I've been talking for so long. I love you guys for staying along this long. I'm going long. I love you guys so much. This video is amazing. I feel good even making it in the first place. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism, subscribe for more video updates. And like I always say, if you don't get with it, you will get left behind. I love Jesus. God is amazing. Catch you guys in the next video.